guys, you deserve everything you desire. This is like a repetitive, recurrent, resonant message that I want to share with you that is also relevant in my life. All great things, anything worth having, your wildest dreams, everything you desire, it lies on the other side of fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. So the ability and the trait and the mindset that you and I get to decide every single day to lean in when we feel discomfort, to feel it, to learn how to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable. That is the one quality, the ability to do that consistently, that is going to separate those who fulfill their dreams and those who do not. You see, most of humanity is just trying to be comfortable, saving for retirement. 68 to 74 degrees, that's it. Comfortable. 9 to 5. Pension plan. Inside a frequency fence. But guys, it's on the edges we grow. And that's what it's about, who we become. And all great things lie on the other side of fear. Like, for example, when Will Smith was saying that he was going to go skydiving. Yeah, from way up there, from your mind, it looks scary. Your body feels sensations right before you're about to jump. But once you jump, you take the dive, you set your mind, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to dream big. And when I feel uncomfortable, good, I'm going to lean in. That one quality, if you can practice that consistently, is what will literally, the one characteristic that is keeping you from your dreams. So my invitation to us is for this really, 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 really epic time. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm speaking to the choir, guys. For this really beautiful, important, epic time. It's going to be so, like some very, very intelligent, great minds are saying the greatest opportunity that has ever existed in all of humanity's history, greater than when the internet came, greater than when Bitcoin was released, is now, the next 2-3 years. And my invitation to us is to lean in for it, to be here for it, and to go for it. Dream big. You deserve everything you desire. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. We ain't even done the Q&A yet. All right, so let's do the Q&A.
All right, our first question. When I'm deep in a depressive episode, all of my spiritual connection vanishes. No intuition, no faith, nothing. Is the depression blocking it?
Yeah, depression is a low frequency. Your superconscious mind, your soul, is a higher frequency. So when you're stuck in depression, you're literally stuck with the thoughts, words, beliefs, and attitudes that you are alone. Isolation leads to inflammation, which leads to disease, which leads to depression. But remember, for every dark night, there's a sunrise, and joy always comes in the morning. So depression, though it feels alone, if you do not give up, what you will find is it's a transition state in consciousness where you disassociate and you unplug from the people, the food, the music, the things that used to give you pleasure no longer do, and you find yourself alone in deep rest. But it's from that state, if you don't give up, where you're going to transition to a higher level of consciousness, and you're going to begin to plug into new thoughts, new words, new attitudes, new people, new programs, and you're going to literally elevate your consciousness. And some of the greatest souls on the planet have allowed themselves to go into deep depression because they understand and they know for every dark night, there's a brighter sunrise. She who has forgiven much can love much. He who has been to the darkest of the darks can appreciate the light all the more. So hang on, don't give up. There's a sunrise. Joy always comes in the morning.
Mental illness runs in my family, and now that I'm waking up spiritually, I'm scared that I'm developing the same thing they have. How do I tell what's the difference between inherited or awakening?
It's one and the same. The first step of change is awareness. So when that sperm and that egg met, 7 to 11 generations of your ancestors' trauma, karma, beautiful things as well, was literally transferred into your DNA. And every single family has what they call a brave soul. Some call them the black sheep, who chooses to be born into that lineage to be able to be the one who awakens. But the awakening happens through trauma, through karma, right? And so literally the wound is where the light enters. This can look like going through severe abuse. It can be like suffering the karmic family traditional passed on abuse, right? And so the brave soul experiences this, and then they know and they believe and they understand that one day through the power of love that they will remember. And usually this is an ancient soul who volunteers to be born into that lineage to be able to transmute the trauma, to transmute the karma. And the trauma is what leads to the opening where the light can enter. And it's from that space, she who is forgiven much can love much. He who has been to the darkest of the darks can appreciate the light all the more. And that brave soul begins the hero's journey of transmuting the karma and trauma. And literally, if you want to change the world, change yourself. But as they heal their DNA, that DNA is interconnected through their ancestors. So they're literally healing their ancestors, and they're healing 7 to 11 generations of their future children as well. So their children don't have to go through it. So shout out to the brave ones. Shout out to the black sheep who becomes the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
All right. Our next question comes from a clinician. My patients are starting to ask me about meditation, energy, and spirituality. And privately, I believe in it. But how do I bring this into my practice without torching my credibility?
There is no frequency more powerful than the truth spoken with love. And so you're programmed to believe that your credibility lies in a system that gives you a white coat, that gives you letters behind your name. But your true, authentic credibility lies in your ability to be authentic. Authentic expression is the resurrection. You see, fear is false evidence appearing real. So you're believing that if you speak your truth in love, that it's somehow going to ruin your credibility. To who? To those who don't matter. So my invitation to any clinician out there who's afraid to speak their truth is to know thyself and to reprogram your definition of what is credibility, and to systematically go into your life and eliminate every single area in your life where there is false evidence appearing real fear. And this is the white coat syndrome. People were programmed to believe if they have a long white coat, if they have letters behind their name, that's credibility. That's not credibility. That's hierarchy. True credibility comes from alignment with your truth. And your truth can set people free. So speak your truth. Real quick, doctors, healers, health professionals, you do not need another certification. What you need is a signature program and the right system to help you scale it. In a free webinar, I share with you the free AI tool that helps you build your 8-week signature course and the exact playbook that I use to impact millions of souls and build a 7-figure business. So if this resonates, in the show notes below, you can watch the free webinar. I'll see you inside the free webinar where we will literally build your signature course together. Check it out.
All right. Our next question also comes from a clinician. I already left clinical medicine to become a healer, and now I miss the structure and steady income and the respect. Did I make a mistake, or is this just the messy middle?
Yeah, you're in a transition state. So literally, it's like programs, right? Even your question tells me that you're still running the program. Did I lose my... No, your identity is not tied to a job. Your identity is not tied to a white coat. Your value is not tied to letters behind your name. And one of the main things that we need to deprogram first is caring what anybody thinks about us. Your value does not depend on someone else's opinion. Your value does not depend on a salary. Your value does not depend on letters behind your name. But there is this transition state, right, where you begin to live in your soul truth, and it takes time and energy and effort of becoming so grounded and sure of who you are and what your truth is, right? And then your service is a noun. It's not a verb. It's not something you create. It's not something you do. It's who you are. And you got to literally higher identity accretion to get into such coherence and alignment and embodiment with your soul. And then you begin to radiate your frequency, your authenticity, every room you walk into. And then when you begin to radiate that authenticity in the invisible world, in the quantum field, people literally will find your frequency from across the world. And everything you need will be provided once you ground and root in to the knowing and understanding that your value comes from who you are. You are source. You are who you've been looking for. And your medicine is a noun. It's who you are. And when you ground and embody that and get rid of the programming that tells you otherwise, that's when your true mission begins to take off.
I finally feel calm and regulated, but now I also feel kind of numb and flat. Is this what safe is supposed to feel like, or did I just shut my emotions off?
A lot of people are addicted to polarized frequency and controversy. All of humanity has for a long time been programmed to believe that there is good and bad, a hero and a villain. And literally every single movie goes through this character where literally there's a hero and a villain. And of course, every single person who says, hey, I remember my past life, every single one is saying that they were some type of a hero. Nobody is saying, hey, I was the bum in a past life. Right? And so literally humanity has been programmed to believe that there is a hero, a villain, and a victim. It's a triangulation, and literally the body's emotions is addicted to this story. And as long as there's a hero and a villain and a victim, this story continues, and there's literally polarized frequency in the body, which manifests and materializes as literally chemicals. And people are addicted to these chemicals, to this story. So in the beginning, it feels a little weird when you begin to embrace the hero, the victim, and the villain. And you begin to realize you're all of it. And then the story collapses. The polarization collapses, and you begin to find this frequency of divine neutrality more often. And that in the beginning for some can feel awkward, can feel weird, because literally your body was addicted to a story. My invitation is to rest in divine neutrality more, to merge with the observer. And you'll begin to realize that actually, no, that state, and you will have emotions, energy and motion, but you won't be addicted to it. You won't be grasping for it. It will flow in and out of the body. And you'll come back to divine neutrality. There's nothing to fight. I am. And the story collapses. So my invitation is to rest in neutrality.
My nervous system feels calm when I'm alone, but dysregulates the second I'm around other people. Is that trauma, or am I just not built for close relationships?
So if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency. So literally, when that person comes close to you, they're carrying a frequency. And whether you're aware of it or not, there's been some type of trauma associated with that person. And it's not personal. It can be a color. It can be a scent. It can be a sex. And whether it's this life or a past life, somehow your nervous system is firing that they are a threat. But remember, it's a mirror. And the first step of change is awareness. And we were literally wired for connection. We are not meant to live in isolation. So my invitation to you would be to look and know thyself and to see if there's any patterns. What type of people? Is it a female? Is it a male? Is it a certain type of person? What frequency or what characteristics is it in them that is triggering me? Because it's not their trigger, it's mine. And if you want to be free, then we have to look inside to understand what is the cause, the root of the trigger. And once we are aware of it, awareness is the first step of change, then we have to go into the body keeps a score, and locate the area. And then usually there's a memory, whether this life or a past life, that is associated with that trauma. And then we have to bring back that soul fragment, create a safe space, and to have the courage to feel what that little kid could not feel. And then we have to let that part know we're here to reparent it. And my invitation to all of us is to continue to, if we can't do it in real time, to find safe, intentional spaces where there's intentional groups who are meeting, holding the space for each and every single person to be able to literally go inside and go into their trigger and retrieve soul retrieval until there are no bad parts, until all parts are whole.
Sometimes my gut feeling turns out to be an old trauma response in disguise. After being wrong like that, how do I learn to trust my intuition again?
Your intuition is like a muscle. When the mind is quiet, your intuition will speak. So my invitation to you is to learn how to quiet the mind. The mind will follow the breath, or the breath will follow the mind. And when we're able to drop into a consistent, calm breath pattern where the exhale is 2 times as long as the inhale, then eventually you will drop into a state of being where your breath is guiding and the mind is quiet. And in that space, you will be able to connect with your intuitive, direct cognition and knowing. It's not a voice. It's a direct cellular knowing, a signal, a relay from your superconscious mind, from your soul, which has information beyond space or time. But it's not noisy, and it can only be heard when your mind is quiet. So my invitation to you is to learn how to quiet your mind through your breath. And in that space, you'll begin to have these signals, these intuitive, direct knowings. And it's like a muscle. The more you get used to that knowing, the more you begin to know yourself, the more you begin to trust yourself, and the more you begin to listen and be guided by your intuition, which can never lead you astray.
All right. And staying with intuition, this question says, my intuition keeps saying someone is wrong for me, but on paper they check every box. Do I trust the feeling or the logic?
The logic is your 3D mind. It's a record of the past. It's programming and conditioning. It's what your parents and your society and the collective consciousness has programmed you to create a program of the things that you should have or want in your partner. Your intuition, your knowing, your felt sense is literally your superconscious mind, your soul, which has information beyond space or time, which only has your highest evolutionary potential in mind. So my question to you is, do you want to fit in to a programmed, a conditioned society? Live in a 9-to-5 with a white picket fence? Miserable? Acting? Programmed? Truman Show? Or Do you want to live outside the box in alignment with your soul, which won't make sense to your mind, but it will lead you on your highest evolutionary potential and wake up in purpose, with purpose, on purpose? My invitation to you is to trust your felt direct knowing.
My therapist wants me to drop a behavior, but that behavior is what kept me safe as a kid. How do I do shadow work on part of me that's terrified to let go?
Let it go. Let it go. All the shadow is, it's an absence of awareness. So the moment that you shine the light of awareness on the shadow, it's no longer in the shadow. And the first step of change is awareness. So all you have to do is have the courage to shine your light of awareness onto the shadow. And you'll realize it's actually a part of yourself that's just waiting to be accepted. And the more you do that, the more you will integrate aspects of yourself to come into a state of wholeness and freedom. The path is the only way. In is out. Out is in. So you got to, it's the only way. You have to integrate your shadow by putting awareness, loving awareness on it, one corner at a time.
Everyone says to integrate your shadow. I can see all my patterns clearly now and nothing has changed. Awareness hasn't fixed anything. What does integration actually mean?
Integration means to make part of the whole. Love is the cohesive power of the universe. So when it says integrate your shadow, it doesn't just mean suppress, repress it, become aware of it and then suppress it. No, it means become aware of it and then love it. Love your enemies. Love your demons. Love your shadow. Love your abuser. Doesn't mean you don't have healthy boundaries, but it means that when you think about that person or that event, there's only love. And that's integration. That's wholeness. Not only becoming aware, but integrating it through the power of love back, connected to the whole. Even that shadow is source. And whether we like it or not, we are all one. We all come from the same source. Integrate it through the power of love. And there's a lot of people, even me, in the past, I thought I had forgiven. But it's not passive. It's active. There's another layer. Integrate it through the power of love.
If awakening is supposed to be remembering who I really am, why does it feel like I'm losing myself and everything I used to love?
Because you are. Nobody said it'd be easy. It's the great paradox of life. You have to lose yourself to find yourself. He who is the least shall be the greatest. And there's this awkward stage of awakening where the things that used to bring us pleasure no longer do. And there's this kind of lonely stage, which is a part of the awakening process, where we go into this valley where nothing really gets us going anymore. But it's only from that state where we can continue to evolve and appreciate eventually the path of dying before you die, so you can truly live. And that's that process, that weird process where you're going into the valley and you're dying to the things that no longer serve you. And in that state, eventually, if you don't give up, you resurrect. And in the end path of all spiritual paths is service. So you stop living for yourself. And every single thing that you do, the food you eat, the shows you watch, the music you listen to, yes, it's for yourself, but it's through love. Because you can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. And the end path of all spiritual paths is service. And so you stop living for little s self and you start living for big S self, which is service. Service to humanity. And that's the choice, service to self or service to humanity. And in the valley, most people are thinking about themselves. And it's through that transition in attitude from small self to big self service to humanity where the resurrection happens.
Everyone says you are not your thoughts. Fine. But then who is the one hearing them? And how do I actually stop believing the cruel thoughts?
It's this process. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts will come and go. Experiences will come and go. People will come and go. So who is the one thinking, experiencing, feeling? That is who you are. The I am presence. And so when thoughts come, you literally wrap it, don't suppress it, wrap it in awareness. Hey, I see you. It's like a cloud, a vibration. And then like a cloud, you wrap it and a cloud comes and then it goes. You let it go. Another thought comes, cool, wrap it in awareness. Let it go. Come back to your breath. Another thought comes, cool, wrap it in awareness. Let it go. The thoughts will come and go. Unless you choose through your awareness to bring it in. So let it come, let it go. Come back to your breath. This is a practice. Just like anything, a practice, nobody taught you how to do it, so you have to learn how to do it. This is the process of meditation. And it's a worthy one because a noisy mind is hell. A quiet mind is heaven. And if there's one thing you can learn and invest in learning in life, is how to breathe, because the mind will follow the breath or the breath will follow the mind. And it's not easy in the beginning. It takes practice. Just like anything worth having in life. So download Insight Timer for free on your phone. Find the meditation that resonates with you and practice. Start with 10 minutes a day, then 15 minutes a day. And let the thoughts come and go. And eventually, if you keep practicing one day, without you even knowing it, you'll have a whole day of peace. All right, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining. Have a beautiful, blessed week. And I will see you guys next week. Peace. If you guys have any questions, ask them in the comments. And I'll try to get to as many of them as possible. Peace.